You talked about, the CDC citing the science here as the driving force behind this decision, but you said the fact that it aligns with the number of days pushed by corporate America is, quote, less than reassuring.
Look, it was totally transparent here. This was asked for as these staffing issues were being put in place. Delta's statement after this policy was put into place had not an ounce of public safety in it, but it was all about the staffing issues. That's what was argued on the front end. That's how your segment started today. And that is the quick response from CDC in the middle of this holiday season to try to address that, rather than be focused on public health policies. Our concern is that this is putting all the onus on the workers. And when you put policies forward that are pro-business and not grounded in public health, it gives people reason to pause and not trust our public health requirement.
Sarah Nelson, president of the Association of Flight Attendants and one of the most powerful union leaders in the country, delivered a blistering statement in the wake of the CDC's shortening of the COVID isolation period from 10 days to 5 days. Nelson echoes the fears of many labor leaders that flight attendants may be forced to return to work before they're actually recovered from COVID and risk being exposed to contagious individuals who don't comply with mask guidelines. News has begun pouring out as to the true nature of why the CDC is shortening the period, and hint, it has nothing to do with health. About a week ago, JetBlue CEO Robin Hayes called the 10-day mandate, quote, extremely disruptive in a December 22nd letter to the CDC. And the lobbying group Airlines for America also advocated for a 5-day maximum quarantine. The CDC's decision comes days after Delta Airlines CEO sent the CDC a letter advocating for a shorter isolation period to 5 days, writing, quote, with the rapid spread of the Omicron variant, the 10-day isolation for those who are fully vaccinated may significantly impact our workforce and operations. About 4,000 flights were canceled between December 25th and December 27th due to staffing issues due to COVID-19. So instead of seeing this as a continuation of the biggest health crisis of our lifetimes, the airlines just see it as a money problem. United Airlines Holding Inc. said 93 of its 129 cancellations Tuesday were due to workers ill with COVID-19 or still in quarantine. For many workers, the CDC quarantine guideline was the only thing protecting them from exposing themselves and others to the disease. According to data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, 22% of U.S. workers did not have access to paid sick leave policies as of March 2020. And because of the new shortening, many will not be paid for any day after 5 days, regardless of if they're still positive. There's something to be said about shortening the period eventually, of course, but why would you immediately start with slashing it in half? Especially as cases are higher than they've ever been, this seems like a huge misstep. Despite all the tweets raking the CDC over the coals that are very funny, this hasty decision is going to have serious consequences. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.